What's up everybody and welcome back to another episode of Skyrim Special Edition Mods Weekly. After a few week hiatus for this series, we are back with some more great mods for Skyrim Special Edition. If you guys have never seen this series before, basically what it's all about is I show you some mods that came out this week that were actually extremely good for Skyrim. These are going to be some of the best mods to come out each and every week, and really just mods that I think everyone should have at least experienced once in their game. I do make this series for both Skyrim and Fallout 4, so if you do enjoy, I encourage you to consider subscribing. But with that being said, let's just basically jump right into it. So the first mod I do want to show you is one that was just ported over from Skyrim, and that's going to be Settlements Expanded. What this mod is going to do is take a lot of those smaller or otherwise unknown settlements in Skyrim and actually expand them to make them just a more notable place, somewhere that after your first little visit there, you won't just forget them instantly. Maybe you'll have a memorable interaction or a trader there that you could dump off some supplies. Again, a lot of these are going to be some of those mines or just really small 1 or 2 building villages you could find around the map. What this mod is going to do is add in a few more buildings and a few more NPCs to a lot of these areas. It's not like they're going to have quests and crazy interactions with NPCs there now, but just something to spice it up a little bit, to make it a little bit more substantial, not just something you could totally forget about. One thing that's actually really useful that this mod does is actually add in a ton of new NPCs and traders, because even if you have nothing else to do there, you could almost always use a trader at some time in your game, whether it just be to unload some stuff you do have or actually buy new items yourself. Again, this mod is very high quality. They're actually starting to add in totally new world spaces now, and it really is just one of those must download mods in my eyes, because it doesn't do a complete overhaul of the game. It really is just breathing new life into areas that you otherwise probably passed through once and totally forgot about. So next up we have Skyrim Bigger Trees. What this is going to do is make some of the trees in certain areas of Skyrim basically massive. So as you walk through some of the different parts of Skyrim, you're going to see these trees, and it's going to take you back at first, simply because this is a huge change from vanilla Skyrim. The trees are going to be much higher, and really the effect this does have is it makes the trees kind of immerse you a little bit more. As you walk through some of the different forests now, you can't really even see the skyline or outside mountains and stuff like that. You're going to really feel like you are in a proper forest and almost encapsulated in that area. Personally, I think this has a really cool effect on the game. It's a relatively small change. It literally just makes the trees bigger, but I think the resounding effect is pretty cool and honestly just makes the game a little bit more enjoyable. So next up we have another Retexture mod, but this one's going to be a little bit different. This is going to be called the Forgotten Retex Project. What this is going to do is attempt to retexture all the objects in Skyrim that were otherwise forgotten about or overlooked by a lot of these other Retexture mods. These are going to be objects that obviously aren't as common or used as much as some of the other ones, but ones that are still a prominent aspect of the game. One thing that really is a problem with some of the other Skyrim mods is you could have all these really nice retexture mods installed, but then as you're wandering around, you'll see that one item that isn't retextured, and it really just stands out as a sore thumb. That's where this mod will come in and hopefully have a retexture for that object. Right now there are only a few objects retextured thus far, but really just the principle and idea behind this mod is an awesome one, and it's definitely one I would love to see get more support and really grow in the future. For the time being though, it still is a great mod to download because it's relatively small on file size, but does again make your game just look all that much better. So next up we have the Faraam Knight Armor, or the Comfy Knight. This mod really went by both of those names, although it is the Faraam Knight Armor, which is an armor from Dark Souls. It was publicly available and then ported over to Skyrim. As you can see, the armor itself is really high quality. I think it's just a very sharp and cool looking armor. Obviously it does kind of have a plate looking style. Being a knight's armor, it definitely is something that would fit well into Skyrim, although it did come from a different video game. Fortunately, Skyrim and Dark Souls have thematic similarities. It is a relatively simple armor. There's nothing super special about this. It is under the steel smithing category. It does have the same rank as some of the steel armors in the game, and all around at the end of the day, I just think it's a pretty cool looking armor that definitely has its own unique feel. So next up we have the Fenrir Blades. This is a pretty cool mod adding in 4 standalone blades. The main appeal of this mod is of course that they are extremely high quality. The swords added in by this mod again just look really good. The model and the textures are going to be 4K, with some of the smaller options being 3K and then the ingot itself being 2K. Regardless, all these do look again really sharp in game. Another cool aspect of this mod is actually the way you get all these different weapons, but then when you have the sword in hand, you're actually going to be able to convert it to a special Fenrir ingot. Then with that Fenrir ingot, you could actually convert it to any of the different variants, that being a dagger, short sword, long sword, or a great sword, which actually is what you see me using in this video. All of them do visually look very similar. They have kind of the same sheaths as well. They just obviously are different lengths. All around, it is a pretty high quality mod. I actually think this one particularly goes well with the Comfy Knight Armor. Maybe it's just me, but that's going to be pretty much it for this episode of Skyrim Mods Weekly. I do hope you guys enjoyed. As always, if you watched to this point in the video, comment bows down below. As always, again, I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys all next time. Later.